你好，小朋友。今天陈老师还是请你和我一起在 Seesaw 上上一节英文课。好，所以我们还是像在学校一样戴帽子，然后说英文。准备好，一二三，说英文。Alright, so first we're going to watch this brain pop video and learn about what are some contractions in English. And then we will do a really fun seesaw activity. Alright, let's begin.
Moby, didn't you read the sign? Please don't touch. That's a contraction. A contraction is a word formed by combining two or more words, leaving out sounds or letters. We use contractions all the time when we speak. They're faster and easier to say. How do you form a contraction? The word don't is a contraction for do not. First combine do not and take out the O. Then you add an apostrophe, which is a kind of punctuation mark. The apostrophe in a contraction tells you where the missing letters or sounds are. So do not becomes don't. You can do the same things to change could not to couldn't, is not to isn't, did not to didn't, and have not to haven't. But the contraction for will not doesn't follow the pattern. Its contraction is won't. As in, I won't tell anyone you touch the blocks. What are contractions with am, are, and is? It sure is cold outside. I am drinking hot cocoa. You can change I am to a contraction by combining the words, dropping the A, and adding an apostrophe. I'm drinking hot cocoa. You are eating warm soup. You can turn you are into a contraction. You're eating warm soup. Mia is making tea. This sentence can change to Mia's making tea. Hey, let's play in the snow. What are contractions that use have, has, and had? You have made one snowball. You can turn you have into a contraction. Combine the words, drop the letters HA, and add an apostrophe to form you've. You've made one snowball. Hey! You should have ducked. You can change should have into a contraction. You should have ducked. You had better watch out. You had can form the contraction you'd. You'd better watch out. Hey, who threw that? Uh-oh. Mia has made a bunch of snowballs. You can turn Mia has into a contraction. Mia's made a bunch of snowballs. Some contractions look the same. Well, the contractions in these two sentences look similar, but they mean different things. She's on the phone. When you read a contraction, try breaking it apart. It doesn't make sense to say, she has on the phone. She is on the phone. There are a lot of blocks to set back up. Don't worry, Moby. You will do it in a snap. I can change you will to a contraction. You'll do it in a snap. Oops, it's important to proofread and make sure you put the apostrophe in the right place. Good job, Moby. Oh, I think you forgot one. I'd like to go home now.
All right, so we just watched a video and learned about contractions, right? So in the video, we learned about contractions are when we combine two words together, for example, do and not, we put them together, we drop one of the letters and put an apostrophe in it, so we change do not to don't, right? So that's what we learned about contractions. We also learned about different kinds of contractions in this video. So now we are going to look at Seesaw to see what kind of practice we're going to do on Seesaw today, and you will have a better idea of all the different kinds of contractions after you do this practice. All right, so let's take a look. All right, so when you go to Seesaw, you will see December 9th, English contractions. So you're going to click Add Response, your name. There we go. All right, so the direction says use different color lines to match the contraction and their expanded form. So for example, he is an expanded form, right? And we know we can put them together, drop the I, and change it to his, right? And she is follows the same rule. I'm going to use a different color right over here. So she is, once again, I put them together, I drop the I put a little apostrophe, and it's now she's, right? She is, I can change it to she's. And then has not, use blue. So I combine those two words, I drop the O, I put an apostrophe, and it's hasn't. Has not can be hasn't in the contractions form. So just follow the order and finish all of those contractions, and those are expanded form and their contractions. So use different colors to match them up. Okay, so this page should be easy peasy for you after watching the video with me. Okay. All right, so the second page is a little bit more challenging than the first page, but I'm sure you will be able to do it. So the instruction says, put your story here. Make sure to have at least 4 sentences in your story. You also need to use at least 2 different kinds of contractions in your story. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to look at those 4 pictures, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to write at least 1 sentence for each picture and put them together into a full story. So I think the easiest way for you to do this assignment is to first just, write the story out as you're thinking about it. Just click here and type the story as you're thinking about it. After you're done with the story, we can then go back to think what are some things in the story that we can change and make into a contraction. So let's see. So the first one, I'm going to say, once upon a time, a man has a dog. Okay, I'm going to put this right over here. There we go. He thinks that he's how about this? So he said to his dog, You are too dirty. So, you're too dirty. Let's clean you up a little bit. So that's the first sentence. Once upon a time, a man has a dog. So that's my first picture. He said to his dog, "You're too dirty. Let's clean you up a little bit." So that's my picture number 2. Picture number 3. Then the man thinks to himself, "That is better." That's my picture number 3. And my picture number 4 is, now the dog is clean and now the dog is clean. Okay, there we go. All right, so this is my story. All right, now I have 4 sentences. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I still have to use at least 2 different kinds of contractions in the story. So now I'm going to go back and think, what are some things in the story that I can change into a contraction? So I'm going to read, once upon a time, a man has a dog. I don't think there's anything I can change there. He said to his dog, "You are," this one I can change. I can change "you are" to, I drop the A and put an apostrophe right here. "You are too dirty. Let's clean you up a little bit," right? So "you are" and "let's," they're both contractions. Then the man thinks to himself, "That is better." I can change "that is" to "that's better." Now the dog is clean again. Right? So if you take a look at my story, I'll use red. I have 3 different contractions in my story. 1, 2, and whoopsie doopsie. And 3. There we go. So I have 4 sentences and 3 different kinds of contractions in my story. So that is our English practice on contractions on Seesaw. So make sure you finish both page 1, there we go, page 1 and page 2, and then you click the check button to share your work with me. All right, have fun with our English practice. Bye.